There is no fucking way. So I just recorded for an hour and a half, and I only just realized that it wasn't recording my microphone the entire time. That is crushing. So I found in the last video that the journal is down in the bottom right. So I utilized that a bit more in this. I found that we needed to mix chemicals to make a powerful acid to clear the substance that was blocking the door last time. I found all of these mixtures in all of the different rooms. All of the things that I kept picking up that I wished was oil was actually the objective. So we mixed all those up. After getting the acid, I realized the stairs were broken. So I had used my big ass brain and become an engineer. I was so happy when this worked. Obviously, you can see on my face, I'm a genius. So we could finally make our way into the refinery.
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason? For the darkness, that is.
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
Unfortunately, I was not alone down here.
June 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect. But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
This door here was blocked.
June 1839. I feel the need to continue this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. This must be something very important. I just know it. I've taken it upon myself to piece the orb back together, but it's been more difficult than one might think. The pieces are behaving strangely. They seem to change color, shape, and texture, but ever so slightly. Yesterday, I took careful measurements and notated any significant markings. Today, I confirmed my suspicions. They were changing. I was terrified and rushed off to see the finest geologist in London, Sir William Smith. I approached the subject with care and we discussed how rocks change form. He told me about the nature of glass, how it eventually collapses on itself, like ice slowly melting over the course of centuries. Smith eased my mind a bit, but I can't escape the feeling that these shards have otherworldly properties.
What the fuck? The door leading to the back room is blocked. Find another way. And after about 20 minutes, I realize that there's a gap behind these fucking boxes. And it was goddamn barrels blocking the door the whole time. Police fucked. Gotta figure that shit out. I see this shit stuck in it. Try to jump and grab it out. Couldn't get a firm grip on it though. So my engineering mastermind obviously thought to get a box. Finally making it into the cellar archives. Here, all that was going through my head was, this is literally my worst nightmare. As you can see from my facial expressions. I found this lever, but didn't know what it did at the time, but I had a good idea that it might be connected to this gate somehow. It's timed. It's fucking timed. So at this point, I have to speed run in the dark because I've ran out of oil for my lantern. Finally, I find some fucking oil and you can see on my face how happy I am. Then I found some body parts on this box, tried to throw them at the dude, and then I realized that he actually eats those body parts. And for some reason, this valve cranks the opposite direction from any of the other ones, so that was fun to get used to. I thought that this door was a cutscene door. That thing on the ceiling pissed me off a bit. I assumed that I was safe here. Now I have entered the new area. What in the fuck is this?
You have an ascending room. Will it take us to the inner sanctum?
It will definitely take care of the vertical part of our journey. So, you have ridden an elevator before?
Yes, the Colosseum at Regent's Park has one. It takes you to the gallery where you can view the panorama.
Good. This ride might be a little longer, and in the other direction.
I don't think it works. Fuck that immediately. We decide to go into the study instead. The cracked window panes are held together only by a weak wooden frame.
Let's see what you have to offer. What a mess. I should have sharpened the saw. But I can sense it. It's definitely there.
And this dude was chilling. Now we venture to the guest room.
My journal is gone. What would they want with my journal? 2nd of July, 1839. I received a letter today from the Algerian governor's office disclosing the fate of Herbert's expedition. About a week after my departure, Abdullah, one of the men traveling with us, returned from the desert. He was badly injured, as if maimed by a lion. The man rambled deliriously about the expedition being attacked by something horrible. The French quickly dispatched a search party to look for the expedition. After searching for days, they found the camp abandoned without any trace of Herbert or his men. Tomorrow, I'll retrieve the things they recovered from Herbert's tent at the customs house. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm worried for him. 3rd of July, 1839. Today I picked up Herbert's things at the customs house. I dug through the trove of documents he had carried and found a log detailing the expedition. The nature of this text ranged from quick notes to colourful accounts of transpired events. I skimmed the pages, trying to figure out what might have happened. May 17th, the day I was trapped inside the orb chamber, Herbert dryly states, "Recovered Daniel after 1 hour of entrapment." This confused me greatly. I was suffocating within minutes. How could I have lasted an hour? I continued reading the peculiar text. Herbert states his facts without judgment or passion, but suddenly I could read frustration into his text. He pushed his men to investigate the underground tomb, an effort which seems to have strained the minds of his men. Madness spread through the ranks, and Herbert had to take some extreme measures to continue. He finally visits the chamber himself, where he retrieves the orb to the surface. His account confuses me greatly. If he has the orb, what are those pieces in my drawing room?
Then we found a crowbar.
4th of July, 1839. It's done. The orb is assembled. I was awakened by an exhausting nightmare. Shaking and sweating, I retired to the drawing room with a cup of tea. The relic pieces lay spread across the table as I'd left them, but somehow I knew how it was supposed to be. I fetched the tar, which I had prepared to fix the pieces together, and without fault I joined them, producing the orb I remembered so clearly. The tar proved unnecessary. It was pushed out from the joining pieces as they merged on their own, with no adhesive. The ancient stone relic now rests on my table. Its immaculate surface and perfect shape could have been molded by a factory. This is all too strange.
Unfortunately, didn't realize that I was having visitors. Thank fuck. Now this place is the last location to go to. Here I find the first drill part.
Please, let me go. I won't tell anyone, I swear. I just want to go home. No! Get away from me! Leave me alone!
This is when I realized that I have heard that before. So we can either go that way. Bro, I made my decision. Fuck off.
Have to get out of here.
Found the second drill part, and like any other fucking game, you need 3 pieces obviously, so I couldn't put them together yet. And finally find the third one. My plan was to try to get the window off. There was just this torso chilling here, you know? Then I picked it up and hit the wall by accident. Scared the fuck out of me. Kobe. Didn't fucking work. It respawned, so obviously I have to go in this door, right? Then I realized that I can move this painting. And I'm explaining that I was trying to pick the other one off the wall.
Oh, thank God, there it is. I guess it is a good place to hide it then.
And now we have the machine room key.
July 1839. Today I went to the university looking for answers. I was able to sneak into Herbert's office and pick up an address book along with some relevant textbooks. Professor Taylor at the Faculty of History was very helpful, and I managed to approach the subject of the orbs. The most interesting aspect was the prevalent trace they had left in our culture. The mythic orbs may, in fact, have inspired the globus cruciger, which so many royal regalia holds to this day. In ancient times, the orbs were held by priests as a symbol of the sun and its power. As I was leaving, I overheard a disturbing conversation. Sir William Smith, the geologist, was killed last night. Less than a fortnight had...
Then I found this cog that was just way too bright for the rest of the environment, so I thought I'd need to put it in here.
July 1839. I've read every book I can find on the subject. While rich in legend and hearsay, my knowledge is lack for the insight I crave. I've sent letters to many in Herbert's address book and received answers of varying importance. Today, I got one which differed greatly from the others. From a baron in Prussia. He said nothing about the quaint stories of priests in underground temples. He didn't even mention them. He simply wrote, "I know. I can protect you. Come to Brennenburg Castle." Signed, Alexander. What am I to make of this? Protect me from what? Is someone after me? I looked up Brennenburg and traced it to the Prussian woods near the Baltic Sea. While being the least informative letter I've received, it causes me greatest distress and interest. As I write, my thoughts are drawn to my nightmares in which a most disturbing sound calls to me. A sound defying description. A voice from the void. The last few weeks have been awful, with so many sleepless nights dreading a repeat of those horrid dreams. Tomorrow, I shall visit my physician, Dr. Tate, in hope that he can provide me with sedatives to help me sleep.
Fucking piece of shit. Then I found a second peculiar cog.
17th of July, 1839. How has this escaped me? They're all dead. Limbs scattered, heads split down the middle, their skin flayed as if boiled. I feel like I'm falling into myself. What's happening? Sir William Smith, Professor Taylor, now Dr. Tate. Is it following me? How can it not be? It's the damn thing I brought from Africa. Something is after me. I have no choice but to trust the Baron. He better know what he claims. If he is wrong, I suspect he'll regret it as well.
And a third one. The machinery needs more work before it will run. There is nothing in the burner for it to ignite.
Is anyone there?
I then find where all the cogs go. Still ain't fucking working. So I go through my journal and read this. The rubble from a cave-in is hindering further passage in the storage. Find a way to get through. Find a way to start the engine that powers the elevator. I realize that I can open the burner door, and there is a coal room right next to this area, so I go and grab the coal. One piece wasn't enough, so I grabbed 2 more. Now she's working. So I try the other lever. Still doesn't work. And this is when I realized that my microphone wasn't recording. There's no